several of her charitable activities, and her slower calendar made it easier for him to gather information. There were 5 activities she still attended. 6, actually, but he did not include that last in his notes. Monday mornings every 2 weeks, she read to a group of preschoolers at the public library. When he first tailed her there, he thought, oh no, as she took her seat among the cluster of wriggly ankle-biters who scrambled in close and called her Kathryn. He was not a kid person, especially not with the spoiled, entitled kind they grew in the Beaver Creek area. But in time, he had to admit that he found himself looking forward to those Monday mornings, browsing nearby shelves in the public library, to the soothing sound of her voice. She met the first Tuesday morning of the month with her book club at a coffee shop. And on Wednesdays at 10 o'clock, she joined 3 other amateur artists for oil painting lessons in an art studio. Thursday, each week, she took a resident of the local retirement home, an elderly woman named Natalie Hunt, out to lunch. One Friday morning per month, she kept a standing appointment at the nail salon. And most Sunday mornings, lately alone, she attended services at an Episcopalian church about 11 miles from where she lived, occupying a pew on the left side, 4 rows from the back. He grew to enjoy the look of her profile silhouetted by the light from the stained glass window. He wondered what she prayed for when the congregation bowed its collective head. She had no need to ask for anything. She appeared to have it all: a privileged lifestyle, a successful, handsome husband, and 2 thriving children, the son an elementary school teacher in Denver and the daughter a senior majoring in business at the University of Colorado in Boulder. But on the 10th of both February and March, Kathryn had brought flowers to a local cemetery and laid them on a child's grave. Abby Gale Walker, December 5th, 1985 to April 10th, 1986. It was this last information that the watcher decided to keep to himself. He filled the report with every other detail, however, having been instructed that nothing was too small. Monday through Thursday afternoons she spent painting in a cozy room upstairs in her home. Late Friday afternoons seemed to be her favorite time to shop for gourmet items at City Market. The lady knew her prosciutto from lunch meat ham for sure. He knew she telephoned her children on Sunday afternoons, that she sipped a glass of Sauvignon Blanc each night while making dinner. He knew the code of the home security system, the shape of the house key hidden in the terracotta frog on the front porch, that her housekeeper had been fired 3 months before, and that the Walkers' best friends had recently divorced. The husband, Frank, lived directly behind them, their back fences facing each other across an alley. Their beloved Sheltie had died last April. A loss to the family, especially Mrs. Walker, his source had told him. And a relief to him, to be sure, to have no dog to notice a private eye sniffing around the property. Ultimately, the watcher did not care why the client wanted this data, so long as he got his paycheck. He had once been considered among the best in his field. In his more reputable days, he'd been known as the Bloodhound. But then his private investigation firm in Houston, Texas, let him go for double dealing. Now, the majority of clients sought his research services in a rented office far from his old posh business address. When he'd been contacted in early February for the Walker job, the caller's voice electronically altered. He assumed he'd best play it straight and agreed to learn all he could about Kathryn. "Time is critical," the voice had made clear. "If you do not provide me with the information I require in 60 days, the deal is off. Is that understood?" He understood perfectly. A retainer in cash had arrived by courier, along with a burner phone and instructions to text his findings. The majority of his clients left no paper trail, a safeguard that was fine by him and great for his taxes. At first, he'd assumed the usual: a disillusioned husband looking to dig up photo opportunities to take to court against a cheating spouse. But the longer he shadowed Kathryn Walker, the less he could imagine even an obsessive partner suspecting her of adultery. Besides, her husband was Dr. Drew Walker, the chief of orthopedics at Winston General Hospital, a brilliant, highly respected